podcast, man, and it's certain moments that you have when you do these things, and I think it's more the moment.
These guys came from Woodland, Delaware. Where are you from?
Now, who's fighting right now? Who's fighting right now? Who's fighting right now? Who's Let me see him. Let me see him. Let me see him. Let me see him.
Listen, man, it's your boy D-Mac, man. Fire Nights Podcast.
Let me see him. Let me see him.
Yeah. Feel like it's the frozen tundra up in Orchard Park, Buffalo. But no, it's Sunday. It's football day. It's your guy, Fresh Fire, and it's the Fire Nights Football pregame show. How y'all doing this Sunday? Yeah, you hear the music. I know you're like, yo, I wish I had a neck roller to my black. I can go out there and I can get you 3 yards in the cloud of dust right now, coach. Put me in, coach. I'll make that stop. I'll make that stop on third down, coach. Send it to fourth down. Yeah. Yeah. How y'all doing out there? It's your guy, Fresh Fire, man. Hello. How are ya? You know, we here another Sunday, man. You know, it's football Sunday. We got a whole slate of games going on today. You know, we getting deeper in the season. We got some real tough games going on today, man. You know, first, I wanted to shout out my good brother, Coach P. You know, right now, man, everybody say they can coach a team and everybody say they can lead some men to the end zone or to the promised land. But, you know, if you ain't got a Coach P on your squad, you might lose. So today, his services and his coaching expertise was needed elsewhere. You know, so shout out to Coach P. But I got a feeling we're going to have some other people chiming in today. So let's talk some football, y'all. Yeah. Well, something real popular in my area and my neck of the hoods, man. There was a team that went down last week. They got the 0 loss from their record, which was the Philadelphia Eagles. They took a loss to the Washington Commanders on Monday Night Football, and there was a lot of people who thought the Eagles was going to move on and be 9-0. Hey, man, Washington came. They had the game plan. We're going to run right at you. It's obvious to see the run couldn't be stopped by the not one, but two defensive tackle pickups by the Eagles this week. They picked up All-Pros Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh. As you can see, they didn't like the way Washington was running on them last week, and Washington made every play they had to make. And the Eagles just seemed like they fumbled the ball every chance they got, and they still had a huge, colossal chance to win at the end of the game. They just couldn't put it together. And really, if you turn the ball over that many times, it's going to be hard for a JV squad in Newcastle County to not beat you. You know, so the Eagles, they turned the ball over. Washington came to play. They had a game plan, did not beat themselves. And they came out and knocked that O off the Philadelphia Eagles record, man. I can say I didn't see it coming. And I can say I didn't pick Washington to win, man. My good brother, the coach, he had that thing picked out last week, man. He went out on a limb and picked the Washington Commanders, man. Yeah, I can honestly say he picked that last week. So shout out to the coach, wherever you at. I know you're listening. So, yeah, he had that thing picked last week. Yeah. Yeah, man. So shout out to all you other Commanders fans too, man. I know y'all felt some type of way going up in Philly, man. getting that dub up out of there, man. Knocking them from the last team from the ranks of the unbeaten. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Also, today we have a game that is going to be played in another state, in another stadium, due to inclement weather up in Buffalo, or can I say Orchard Park, New York, where the Buffalo Bills was slated to play the Cleveland Browns up until a couple days ago. And I'm not sure if y'all have seen the imagery that has come from out of Buffalo and the Orchard Park and surrounding areas. But I'm not sure if they're going to be able to play a football game next week or the week after that with all that damn snow that dropped up in Buffalo, man. Did y'all see it on the news, man? The snow just was higher than the news, man. I was like, get the fuck out. Yo, you cannot, people was like, oh, man, you might be able to get that game in. How? Who was going to watch the game? We would have no account that this football game even happened. The players wouldn't know what would happen. There is, in some places, I want to say there are snow drifts at least up 10 feet high, and they had record reports of at least snow droppings of 6 to 7 feet, in different places. Like, man, this is major snow. And for someone to be trying to think about they could have played a football game in that weather, man, I'm not sure if that was going to be able to happen. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't. That's a lot of motherfucking snow, man. That's a lot of motherfucking snow. Yo, I don't think y'all understand. You get 3 or 4 feet around my area, we shut down for at least a couple days. They got 6, 7 feet, man. People going to be digging out for weeks. For weeks. I mean, major highways are going to be shut down for weeks. I mean, you can't be playing a football game out there. So I actually think it benefits Buffalo. You take them out of those very, very, very treacherous elements and put them in a more conducive circumstance and environment for them to be able to throw the ball. They're not a very good running team. If it's not Josh Allen, it's not a lot of success in their backfield. They don't have a lot of. I'm not sure if they run the ball enough to be successful. But if it's not Josh Allen, they just don't have a run game. And if you was out there playing in 6, 7 feet of snow, which you couldn't do, or 2 or 3 feet of snow, that run game was going to be severely hampered. So going inside, being in very, very nice, tranquil, ideal circumstances for throwing the ball, which they are very astute at doing in Buffalo. I think moving the game to Detroit helps them out immensely. So I'm looking for them to actually play a whole lot better and pull the dub out. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, man, I had a brother, man. I had a good brother reach out on the show, man. Shout out to Cousin B, man, and all the Minnesota Vikings fans out there. They actually my NFC pick to go to the Super Bowl. A lot of people said they didn't believe in them or they didn't understand what was going on with Minnesota or why they was looking as good as they was looking early in the season. I said, look, man, you can't take the wins off the board. And I can tell you every team out here is not playing to lose, even though they may be playing losing football. So whatever you think about Minnesota, man, they are there at 8-1. They are, I want to say, a half game out of, I guess, the first overall seed in the NFC behind the Eagles due to the Eagles beating them head to head. But they have just as good as chances as anybody in the NFL to win the Super Bowl. Right now, there's just like so many people not giving them the respect that I thought they need. And Cousin B just pointed out how they were crazy underdogs at home. There's the number 2 seed in the NFC. They're at home. They're playing a team that was on the road last week and lost. So I just don't. I didn't understand how that was going to happen. Man, they had a dog at home, and he had just pointed that out to me, and I was like, man, it just goes to show how Minnesota hasn't been getting that respect all year. But man, man, shout out to cousin B and Droop, man. They Minnesota fans. They've been waving that flag all motherfucking season, man. So it is crazy, man, how they dogs today and how Minnesota Vikings fans have really a big argument. Like, man, how y'all throwing this disrespect on our team? We're just as good as anybody. We have just as good a shot to win the Super Bowl as anybody out there. Why won't y'all give us the respect that you'll give a team that has won maybe 2 losses more than we have? It's crazy. They've been giving teams out there a whole lot more respect. And they say, oh, I just can't, I don't know about Kirk Cousins. I'm like, look, I don't know about Kirk Cousins before, but I know about Kirk Cousins today. He ain't been, making a fatal, picks and turnovers and fatal bad mistakes and in the wrong situations this year. That's why I picked him this year. There's not a whole lot of other teams that I have a lot of faith in that can win 2 or 3 games in the playoffs against playoff caliber teams who don't beat themselves. And Minnesota is a team that I've seen all season long who doesn't beat themselves. And usually that'll be a team that can at least be 500, a little bit better. But this year, when I see as much bad football is being played and teams beating themselves, you got a team like Minnesota out here, like we got guns. We got players and playmakers all around, but we are still a team that's not beating ourselves like we've beat ourselves in the past. So until teams stop beating themselves, Minnesota should be respected as high as everybody ain't putting them, but I've been putting them there all season. And the couple of Minnesota fans that I've been talking to all season, man, put some respect on the Minnesota Vikings name, man. I've been saying it all season, man. That was my pick to go to the Super Bowl. And right now they look just as good as any pick to go to the Super Bowl in any division, any conference out there. But people still thinking it's somebody else. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Y'all got to tell me what it is on that one. Y'all got to tell me what it is on that one, man. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what it is on that one. Yo. I'm not sure what it is on that one, though, with the people not giving the Minnesota Vikings their just desserts, man. They 8-1, man. They 8-1. People still try and pull the Green Bay Packers off the scrap heap. Talking about, well, if they get this game, they do this. Like, look, man, I think they blew their load last week. I actually predicted that they would win last week against the Cowboys because I just thought they was going to rally the wagons and play exactly like they did. The most inspired ball they played all season long. But unfortunately, that's it. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's it. I thought they blew their load last week. I picked them. I said they're going to ride the troops. They're going to have one game. It's a nationally televised game. They put it all on the line. We had a Randall Cobb sighting. You feel what I'm saying? So it's but I was like, that was it for the season, man. Whoever they playing this week, and we're going to get to it, I think they might get stomped out this week. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm not sure why people not giving Minnesota their due, and they still trying to pull well, no, I can't say pull, but they like, San Francisco. San Francisco is a team that has won a couple games in a row. It seems like they round into form every year around this time. I'm just a person who always thinks that, man, they always just underachieve just a little bit for me. I mean, I'm not, down on anything like that. It's a lot of loyal 49er fans out there, but it seems like they underachieve a little bit early in the season, and a lot of it seems like it may be due to a lot of injury out there, man. It always seems like it's a lot of unfortunate and untimely injury for the 49ers. But when they put it all together, they as tough a team out there. But it just seems like to me a lot of people heap just a little bit more on them, and I was like, wait till they get to 500, a little bit over 500. But now it seems like they do every year. They round it into shape. But it seems like they even get it a little bit more respect than the Vikings. I don't really understand that. I'm like, the Vikings they are who they are. They, you can't take those wins off the board. Yeah. You getting healthy, and that's what I'm saying. Every year I'm talking with talking with cousin D-Rock. Of course, I'm talking with Live. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to different 49ers fans, and it's just always injuries out there, man. It's always injuries out in 49ers, man. And I'm like, well, that's part of the game as well, man. What's up with your strength and conditioning, program, man? Y'all always have too many key injuries at the wrong times, but it seemed like y'all always a team that can pull it together around this time of year, and y'all get all healthy again and start stomping on motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, y'all have a lot of unfortunate, injuries early in the season, and it be fucking people up. I was like, damn, man, I think y'all should be a little bit better than that. There's some teams out there, they a little bit hurt up too. But, yeah, man, it's the 49ers time, man. But I just was under, it still baffles my mind. It ain't giving Minnesota theirs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Catch as you injury bug, man, every year. And that's unfortunate. I'm like, come on, man. We can't keep doing this every year, man. Can't keep doing this every year, yo. So let us get into a couple games that's going to be played today. I think we got a full slate. I don't even know if it's no bye teams this week, man. I don't know if we got a full slate or not. But we started off Thursday night with the Titans beating the Packers. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? 27-17, man, the Packers done blew their load. It's pretty much over for them. I ain't gonna say over for them. You might get a game or two down the stretch, but it's not gonna be worth nothing. That team's pretty much fried. You got the Bears and the Falcons today, man. Woo! You got the Bears and the Falcons. These are two, I guess, teams. I ain't gonna say they ain't playing for nothing, but two teams that can really get a real funny style game going. It might be a couple laterals and you might get a halfback toss, things like that. Oh, hold up, man. I actually picked the Steelers a couple weeks ago. Yes, I did, man. I'm not sure if I should be looking out for them today. I'm not sure if they did. I'm not sure if they the team I'm supposed to be looking out for today. Who the Steelers actually play today? They play the Bengals? Now, I already know where I'm going with that one. I don't think y'all going to be able to put up enough points, Steelers fan. I don't think y'all going to be able to put up. Y'all are home, though. But I'm right now, man, the Steelers, man, I don't think Kenny Two Gloves is going to be enough for Cincinnati today. I don't think Kenny Two Gloves is going to be able to put enough together for Cincinnati to be worried about that today. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even sure who this is. I gotta check you out. Hold on, let me see where you at. I'm not sure who this is. I'm gonna go ahead and ask you. Who are you? Nah, because it's only giving me Facebook user. Add me real quick. I'm not sure who you are. Where we at? It's cold outside. I bet it ain't cold like Orchard Park. Okay, here we at. Who was this? Oh, my guy, the coach. Okay, my guy, the coach. Where are you at? Oh, yeah. See how the coach is? Me all over, man. He delegating coaching over here, delegating coaching over there. Yeah, let's get the coach in here for a second, man. Yeah. Let's get the coach in here for a second. Yeah, and I want to get that Minnesota fan in here too, man, for a second. I want to get that Minnesota fan in here too for a second, man. I know you out there. Check your messenger. Just check your messenger, cuzzo. Just check your messenger. Hold on, here it go. Oh shit, I'm putting in the wrong damn thing. Yeah, it's coming straight at you, cuzzo. Yeah. Yeah. Coming straight at you. Yeah. Okay, got you. I sent it out, coach. I sent it out, coach. Oh shit. I gotta get my ticket in? See, I came on a little bit later than I usually do. I gotta get my ticket. I gotta get a ticket in real fast. A Johnson Johnson, yeah. Pick one real fast, yeah. Yeah, it is kind of mind blowing. The Vikes and the Jets are underdogs today, man. I ain't feeling none of that New England stuff, man. But a home field advantage usually is good for 3.5 points. So that's probably where they just going with that. And Bill Belichick, so they be like, well, we don't know if he can beat anybody, but we don't know if nobody can beat him. So those type of things is what be going on, and when sometimes when they coming up with point spreads and stuff like that, so. It's kind of weird like that. How I'm like, I'm thinking the Jets should be favored, but it's a lot of variables going to that point spread, baby. It's a lot of variables. It's a lot of variables going into that point spread. But yeah, I'm going with the Jets today. Actually, I'm going with Joshy. Let me go with, I think I'm gonna go with my man Diggs. Oh no! And you know what? Hey, fans, man, out there, I want y'all to talk to your brother, man. I want y'all to talk to your brother, and I want y'all to uplift him in your spirits, man, because last week, man, y'all took one on the chin. It was a bad time. It was a bad time for y'all, but I was like, I knew Aaron Rodgers was going to rally the troops for one last gasp. It happened to be at home. Nationally televised games, and it was against the Cowboys. And I definitely want to know how my brother from another, B. Matt, feels about this, man. How
Man,
you
listen.
feel
You are
about this, man?
first of all, you already know. You already know how I feel about Mr. Prescott. So them two interceptions, all right, perhaps receivers fault. We got to cross the defender's face. I get it. Cool. But it's two interceptions. I can remember a time when Romo was back there and he'd throw an ant, and I'm like, but nah, the receiver niggas wasn't trying to hear it. They wasn't trying to hear it. But
That's
now
fair.
it's the receivers did it. Guess what? That ain't even on the receiver stat. That's his stat. So my and let me tell you this, man. So I watched this YouTube joint that Kurt Warner put up. Kurt Warner, Super Bowl champ. I believe he was Super Bowl MVP. That
Yes.
Kurt Warner, right? So I'm watching this joint. It's like 30 minutes long. And he breaking down that game, and he breaking down play by play, and even he's like, "Yo, Dak, he shouldn't have made this throw. He totally missed this read. He totally missed this." And he like, I'm looking at the route concepts, and I'm not even sure what Kellen Moore has these guys do. Basically, he's saying what I've been saying, and what Grand Funky been saying forever. QB's trash,
What would that be?
bro. Listen, the QB's trash, and the offensive coordinator's
Wow.
trash. This ain't me talking no more. This is Kurt Warner, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, and he's like, "Yo," and I'm gonna send you the clip. He's like, "Yo, I don't know what Dak is reading, but this should have been his read right here. He went to the outlet. And I'm like, yo, I'm glad somebody else is seeing this shit. But enough about Dak, man. Our defense laid an egg at the end. You can't give up a 4-point lead regardless, right? You just can't do it, right? But run the damn ball.
That's fair.
Y'all by
That's
14. Run the damn ball, dog. Why is Dak throwing the ball 41 times?
well, he may not be the guy fitted to be throwing the ball 41 times, even though some circumstances and games turn out to be that way. You try to not get your team into situations where you got to throw the ball 40 some odd times. And I'm assuming those two interceptions that's on Dak Prescott's docket as opposed to anybody else's docket probably lead more to you having to throw the ball 40 times than not. Now we got our coach. Our coach wants to chime in.
Yes,
He wants
sir.
to chime in. He wants
My
to come
man.
on in and let us know how he's seeing things, where he's seeing that. Coach, how are you feeling on this football Sunday, bro?
I'm good,
What's
bro.
up,
I'm
my
good,
boy?
bro. I apologize for the absence, man.
No
You know,
problem, man. You here,
um,
bro?
I'm on the go today, man. So this is Coach on the go. Coach on the go. I'm on the road right now, but I'm gonna get some thoughts in, get some, some of these picks in, man, before I go. How you fellas doing
Okay.
today?
Doing all
Gucci,
right, man.
Gucci.
Good.
I'm
Good.
trying to get me a ticket, and as we speaking, fellas, I'm trying to line me something up as we
Look,
speaking.
I just played mine. That's what took so long to chime in.
All right, well, listen, let's get to it then, Fresh.
Let's
Who we
get
got
it.
on the docket first? Can y'all hear me?
Well,
Am I coming through well?
Yeah, you good, bro?
All
yeah,
right, all right.
you sounding pretty darn good, my man.
All right,
I
so let's
got
get to
it.
the first game.
Hold on, this I just had it here set up. Well, the first game we have on the docket would be the Bears and the Falcons, bro. They're playing in Atlanta. Me myself, Atlanta has been playing some scrappy ball, playing, punching above their weight class just a little bit this year. I like the guy Cordero Patterson. Marcus Mariota is who he is. Kyle Pitts has been on a little bit of a I could say downside, but underachieving for me. So with that being said, I actually think Justin Fields comes into Atlanta, puts the whole city of Chicago and suburbs adjoining on his shoulders, takes them into Atlanta today, and pulls out a win 27-24.
Solid. What you think, Coach?
Like you said, two scrappy teams, man. At some point, you think Justin Fields is going to break through with the W. I think the strong performances and the strong play continues. But I think today the Falcons, man, 30 birds get it done today. 30 birds get it done 28-24 today.
Okay, I'm gonna piggyback off what Fresh said. With Justin Fields, man, he's been looking real electric lately, but it hasn't translated to dubs. I get that. I think this week it will, right? I think he's gonna get the dub. They on the turf in the A. That's gonna make him a whole lot faster.
Fast track.
And yes, sir. And Fresh, also something you said, Mariota is who we thought he was, and I always thought he wasn't that great, and he's not that great. So we'll see what happens today. But I like Chicago 28-10.
Cool.
Justin Fields is definitely turning into a fantasy god.
This is real.
Yes.
That is real.
He puts in the beans, dog. He puts in the beans.
That is real.
Absolutely.
So
Moving on.
the next game on the docket will be the Indianapolis Colts hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. Man,
I'm gonna go.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I didn't think the Eagles was gonna go 17-0, but I didn't think they was gonna lose at home on prime time. Now, a lot of people think that they have found the blueprint to beating the Eagles, which is just running, smacking their damn mouth. And I said, well, that could be true if you can do it. Washington went in and did it. My guy, like I just stated earlier, the Coach P, went out on a limb, that very Long Island by himself, and called his motherfucking shot last week. Home fucking run. He said they're going to run the ball, limit turnovers, keep the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands, and they won. Also, a derivative, something they didn't see even coming was the Eagles coming out and fumbling and turning over the ball more times than they've turned it over in one game than they turned it over all season.
That's
So
a big
that
part.
helped.
That's big. That was huge.
That is huge.
They were
So
due for
with
a
that
game
being
like that.
said,
They were due. They were due for a game.
They were due for a game. They were due for a game. You know that now they can exhale. I even heard reports there was guys, I didn't like that report, but it was guys saying, whoo, we got that pressure of going 17-0 undefeated off our back. I was like, ooh, that ain't really the mindset I like. But if it takes some pressure off of you, feel free.
Right.
With that being said, I think they pressed the reset button. even though they down who I thought was going to be an all-star in Dallas Goddard this year, I think they go into Indianapolis, and I think they get right off the Indianapolis Colts today. Last week was spirited for them. You know, hey, man, they was playing against another team in turmoil, the Las Vegas Raiders. You know, so it wasn't much they had to overcome there. But I think the Eagles are a much more formidable opponent. And I'm going to take the Eagles at 24-14.
That's
Let me
fair.
get the sound. Let me get the sound. Let me get the sound fresh. I'm gonna go out on a limb on this one too. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. The Eagles are a better team than the Colts, right? I believe that wholeheartedly. However, I believe that the NFL is based on a lot of times momentary pockets that happen. And right now, the Eagles are in a momentary pocket where their immediate response to that Monday night game, they admitted without saying so that they know that they could be, they know that they could be ran on, and they know that that's a vulnerability. So they responded and going and getting, it's almost like they're trying to collect the gauntlet, the Infinity Gauntlet alignment. So not only because you figure the week before they made a pickup, so now then the next week they made 2 pickups. So while I think the Eagles are a better team, I think in this very moment, I think they still sputter. I think they go into Indianapolis. I think the Colts, with the new leadership of Jeff Saturday, not necessarily saying he's a great coach, but I think what he's doing is he's galvanizing that locker room right now. Jonathan Taylor had a great game last week. This is not a great opponent to come in off of something that you came in off what the Eagles are coming in on. Give me the Colts. I'm going to go 24-21 Colts.
No.
Rewind.
No. You're actually a lone wolf, good brother.
I'm the wolf. I put that on me.
Get out of my head, coach. Get out of my head, coach. I'm thinking the same thing you thinking, good brother. They panicked. The Eagles have hit the panic button. Prematurely maybe, but they know something that we don't know about that last game against the Commanders. You know, people say, oh, yeah, they ran on the Eagles personnel, the Eagles office personnel. They got a little more out that game than everybody else did. That caused them to hit the panic button and grab Joseph, Sue. That made me think like, there's a lot more going on. They saw a lot more in that tape than we saw in the game. So there's something going on here. And I think
eye in the sky don't lie.
Yes, sir. And I think today, Jonathan Taylor has a great game. It's going to be a close one because the Eagles are the better team. Like Coach said,
Here's the key. Here's the key.
Better team.
I don't want to interrupt you. Let me throw this in there real quick. Another key that went overlooked. We limited the 50-50 balls. There was one 50. Now, matter of fact, not only did we eliminate the 50-50 balls, there was only one big play, and that was the one play to Quez Watkins who fumbled. If the Colts can do that, they stand a better chance than most people think. Go ahead, B-Mac.
I like the Colts 28-24 in a great game. But I think that I also watched how the Eagles' defensive line were manhandled. And I think that's what the coaches saw, and they were like, we got to do something about this. I don't know if Linval, Joseph, and Sue are the answer. I guess time will tell. But this week, I like the Colts to win that game. Again, 28-24, Indy.
Keep an eye on the 50-50 balls. The Eagles love to take their chances, and I do love that about the Eagles. They will throw up a 50-50 ball because in all actuality, it's not a 50-50 ball. It's a 75-25 ball because the best thing that the odds are you either catch it, drop it, or you get a flag. There's only one outcome for the defense. Eagles have feasted on that up until this point. Can they bring the 50-50 ball back this week and go deep and take advantage of the Colts defensive secondary? Keep an eye on that.
So, hold on. Let me get my pick in, and it is. My bad. There we go. I'm in there. I had to get that late one in, fellas.
Yes, sir. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, good brother.
My bad, man. My degenerate. I get the itch and I couldn't get my ticket in. My bad, man.
So the byproduct of what's going on late, man, probably played into that because we normally done by now. But I digress. Let's Let's keep it moving. We're gonna deliver
Got
either
you.
way.
Got you. The next game on the docket is the Detroit Fighting Campbell Lions going into the New York to play the New York City Football Giants today at 1 o'clock. Man. Well, this one right here, I ain't even got to say too much about, man. I'm feeling what the Giants is doing. They're not out there beating themselves. The Lions are doing probably just the opposite. They losing games, beating themselves. 1 o'clock game going into New York. It'll take a lot for me to have to pick the Lions over the Giants. And I know this is good brother JT team. I'm going with the Giants.
Even though they won last week, though, even though they showed some grit and determination and winning last week.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was last week though. We talking about this week.
Yeah, that definitely was a week ago. It was.
Yeah, you know, they have not shown me to be a team that can put grit together 2 weeks in a row. You know what I'm saying? Enough grit to win, you know what I'm saying, to beat, the Giants. So, I'm going with the Giants. I'm going with the Giants probably about 24-10. Actually, 24-10.
I'm gonna make this short and sweet. Giants grounding into shape right now. You got a team that loves to play track meet style football. Giants slow that down today. Saquon Barkley's turning up right now. Passing game starting to come together for the Giants. Give me the Giants 21. Give me the Giants 21-17.
Okay.
Saquon. Giants 21-7.
That was like just Saquon. Then when you get tired of Saquon, more Saquon. Next game on the docket, man, is the surprisingly playing New York Jets going into New England to play the Bill Belichick's New England Patriots. This one right here, man, I haven't been able to get a good read on the Patriots all year. I got a negative vibe about them, man. I don't really like what they do. They're a team that's helping set football back 20 to 30 years with all this damn running the football. That's just not conducive to winning football. It might not be losing football, but it ain't fucking winning football. And the Jets, to me, they're like, you know what? Fuck who we used to be. This is who the fuck we are. I fuck with Sauce Gardner. I like what they doing. I like the running back they had, Brees Hall, before he got hurt. And I like the general direction the team was going. So I really like the Jets to go into New England and get the dub. And actually, I want to say pretty handily, about 30-14, because I think they're going to be it's going to be like a punt return or kick return or some type of defensive touchdown to really add to that gaudy score. But I'm really going with the Jets and Jets heavy today. 30-14.
When I picked the Jets against the Bills, I said that was a landmark game because if the Jets want to be who they want to be, you win that game. Here's another game. This is tailor-made for them to fall on their faces. The Jets of previous years will fall on their faces with this game. Zach Wilson is past his gaff game. Jets, if you want to be who you want to be, this is another game. Go into New England, stomp out Bill Belichick, get out of there with a dub, keep pace with the Dolphins. I got the Jets 17-14.
Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed. Best DB duo in the league. Period.
I'm not going to argue with you there, bro.
Period.
I'm not going to argue.
That's a saucy take. That's a saucy take in itself.
Yes, sir. I like the Jets. 7-10.
Okay. So we all going JETS, Jets.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
If the Jets want to be anybody, you want to make another statement, here's a perfect opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is a trap game. This is a trap game for them.
Exactly. It'll make last week's game bullshit. I see where you're going with that.
That part.
Speaking of last week's game meaning nothing, we have the Houston Texans hosting the Washington Commanders. Now, if you want a game to mean something this week, and like good brother said, we should have made you even madder that you didn't win the game last week before you played the Eagles. Like, these are the games you have to win to make these games means something. If you beat the Eagles and lose to the Houston Texans, you might as well beat the Texans and lost to the Eagles. These are the games you have to win to make the other games valid. I totally understand what you're saying. So with that being said, I think the Texans are in a ripe situation to be had. You got guys wanting out of there, and I think, having questionable injuries, and I might play, I might not play. Davis Mills, he's been showing up and playing, but what can you do? I can only play with what I got. Right now, Washington, I think, is a better team, has been a better team all year long, and I think they go into Houston and get the dub today, and actually, I think they get it real handily as well. I think Houston is out of sorts. I think it's more of a 31-13 smashing because I think y'all get to running the ball, Coach P, and I think things just start unraveling for Houston.
I had a different take.
Go ahead.
I know this team very well. Talented, yes, but what sticks out more about this team is their characteristic of being consistently inconsistent. This is a game where they can say a lot about themselves as well. I don't even want to pick this game, but I'm gonna go out on a limb. I say we want a squeaker. I'll say a squeaker.
Squeak!
21-20. 21-20 Commanders. Barely. If we don't lose. But I say we win a squeaker.
I'm gonna go with the Commanders. I think it'll be interesting for a while. And I won't say squeaker, but I'll say, maybe closer than some people might think. I'll say 28-17 Commanders.
That's fair. Next game on the docket is the New Orleans Saints hosting the Rams. Both these two underachieving teams, man. I'm just shaking up and pick one, man. You know what, man? I still can't go with Andy Dalton, man. Give me the Rams, man. Give me the Rams in a funny style game, something like 19-12. Give me the Rams on the road.
That's fair.
19-12. Something funny, man. Like 4 or 5 field goals being kicked. That's what I predict. Something like that by one team. 4 or 5 field goals.
Them funky ass Saints messed me up last week. I went out on a limb and picked them over Blitzburg. I won't make that mistake again. Rams in a laugher this week. 28-14.
I'm gonna go with the Rams only because Stafford's back, and I think he's gonna have an okay game. Or he only have to have a great game. He's gonna have to have a better game than Andy Dalton, which I can do on any given Sunday. So I'm gonna go with the Rams, and I'm gonna say 15-11.
So you thinking like me, something funky, right?
Yeah,
something funky,
whole lot of
man.
field goals going on.
Yeah. Might be a safety, something real funky, man.
It's a weirdo game.
Yeah, man. But I think the Rams will pull that thing out.
Yeah, the punter run out the back of the end zone or something. That type of dumb shit. Yeah.
Something like I ain't know if you hit the scoreboard, it was 2 points for the other team. Like something real funky gonna happen, man.
Some double reverses, a couple safeties.
Yep. Something weird, man. Something weird. I mean that, man. I feel that in my soul, man. The next game on the docket, 1 o'clock, man. This game was actually slated to be in snow, motherfucking ravaged Buffalo, but this game is now being played in Detroit.
Inches, brother.
God, man.
That's a lot of snow, man.
That's a lot of snow, bro.
Yo, man. You got the Buffalo Bills. I guess, playing at a neutral site, but they would have been hosting the Cleveland Browns in Detroit today, man. But it was actually a home game for the Buffalo Bills. But if you had a TV and you live in America, you've seen the motherfucking carnage the snow has done to Buffalo and surrounding areas.
We would have played in that back in the day, bro. We would have played in that.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I don't know if we could play in. How much you say it was?
It was equivalent to 6'5". So maybe we would not have played in that. I'm not sure how none of us are 6'5".
We have found a way.
Sure. I guess. I guess. I don't know.
I would like to know how we
wouldn't have been scared of it.
I would like to know how we get to the field and
I
pick
don't know.
teams
That's neither here nor
to
there.
play a game.
He was very
It's
ingenuitive,
6
so
feet
we
of
would have found a way.
snow.
Who
I
you
would
got?
like to know that, man. You know, I mean, how do we navigate 6 feet of snow to play a football game?
I don't know.
That's
I'm
a
trying to
little.
answer that right now, but I do. You know what I do have the answer to?
What's that?
The score of the game.
Give it to me.
Get back. Bills Mafia, get back. Fast track in Detroit. They're seething from that loss last week. That was almost like 2 losses.
Mm-hmm.
The way they lost that game, because they actually beat the Bengals. They actually beat the Vikings twice that game. So with that being said, fast track the day in Detroit. Give me the Bills Mafia handily, 35-17.
That's fair. That's fair.
What you got, B?
I'm gonna go with the Bills, man. I'm gonna go with the Bills. I'm gonna say 27-21. I think it's gonna be a little bit of a better game.
Oh.
What? Whoa.
A lone wolf pick here?
I'm going. I ain't even saying I'm going out on a limb, but follow me, fellas. The human element has just kind of struck the Buffalo Bills this week. Mind you, they had a home game, and now they got to go on the road and play a home game. You do understand that, you know, people got wives, girlfriends, mothers, daughters, those type of things going on back in Buffalo. And I know they're professionals, but like you said, is how many? 76 inches of snow on the ground?
77, good brother.
I'm sorry, 77. I don't want to be smirched to not 1 inch.
Yeah.
When it's 77 inches of snow on the ground, you may not be fully focused on the audibles being called, you know, when you see press man coverage. When you playing football, like a lot of people say, it's the sanctuary. Like, you start forgetting about the things off the field. I got you. Could you prepare as well before the game off the field to actually be prepared for the game this week? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I think this week you haven't practiced. I don't think you prepared anything. I think they were just like, look, make sure your family's safe and make sure you show up for the bus, for the plane, and we'll see you in Detroit. With that being said, I actually think this was a week for the Cleveland Browns. We was already going on the road. Okay, this is actually a closer move than what we was going to have. It's not going to affect us either way. I think the Cleveland Browns pull this thing out in Detroit over the Bills, 24-23.
That's fair.
Next game. Hold up. Okay, that's what that said. That's what that says. All right. Next game on the docket, you have the Ravens, the Baltimore Ravens, hosting the Panthers today. I'm assuming we may all feel the same way about this game.
Safe to say.
Safe to say.
Safe to say.
Lamar's playing. I don't think it's nobody on the other side on offense, defense, or special teams that can stop what he's doing. Giving the Baltimore Ravens in a rout. 35-10.
Ravens.
Give me the Ravens.
31-10.
Give me the Ravens 24-23. Tight game.
Oh, you got it close, huh?
Panthers come to play, but come up short.
Okay. All right. Dare to be different. I mean, I know.
Give me the Ravens. 24-23.
Got you. Well, we will be moving on to the 4 o'clock window of ball games, and these are 2 very, very disappointing football teams, man. Put 2 names in the hat. Oh, it just happens to be the Denver Broncos and the fucking Raiders. The Broncos are at home. They hosting the Raiders. Derek Carr had an emotional speech. I don't know what's going on in Vegas, man. Give me Denver. 13-9.
Damn. Not 13-9. I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
the Raiders, man. I mean, both of these teams, like you said, they both are very disappointing. Not where they were expected to be. I think they both suck. I think Russell Wilson sucks. That's another story. I'm gonna go with the Raiders on this one, and I'm gonna say 21-7.
Where is this game being played at? Is it in Las Vegas?
Nah, it's in Denver.
Toward Industrial Highway,
Nah.
Pennsylvania, Route 2.
Broncos got to break through at some point.
Do they
Yeah.
though?
Broncos got it. I think they do. They do for it to click at some point.
What's the score you got, Coach?
Give me Broncos 20,
Pass this line, then at the next one, turn left.
20 to 14. 20 to 14 Broncos. Why not?
Yeah.
20 to 14 Broncos.
They
Let's throw
ain't
that
paying
one
no
out.
respect to offense out in that game. You know what I'm saying? They all stupid shit out in that game.
Yeah,
Another game that I would assume is near and dear to my good brother's heart that starts at 4:30, and it's a huge NFC matchup, a colossal NFC matchup proceeding for bragging rights and just a measuring stick. I don't know why for both teams at this time, but you have the 8-1 Minnesota Vikings hosting the 6-3 Dallas Cowboys. Let me go to my bro B Matt first, man.
Yeah. All right, so let me start this one off. First, I want to address this Facebook user who says that was on the defense. You can't be up 14 points and blow the lead. We tried to run the ball, but we couldn't. Blah blah blah. No, and I'm gonna say that because the 2 interceptions Dak threw led to 14 points, right? So you can't put one of them being in the red zone. You can't put that kind of pressure on your defense. Yeah, the defense didn't play great. I completely agree with that. Couldn't agree more. They laid the egg. I agree with that. But that's 2 more defensive possessions that they weren't expected to be on and they shouldn't have had to deal with, especially in the red zone. You don't throw an interception in the red zone. Run the damn ball. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to go with the Cowboys. I think it's going to be a good one. Honestly, I know you as Bill Parcells, I think, said you are what your record says you are. I don't believe the Vikings. I don't believe them. So I'm gonna go Cowboys, and I'm gonna go 28-24. I think it's gonna be a good game, but I think at the end of the game we got Zeke back. I think between Zeke and Pollard, as long as Kellen Moore calls plays to give them the ball and not have Dak throw the ball 41 times, I think we win that game 28-24.
That's fair. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Minnesota was my pick to win the whole NFC conference, go to the Super Bowl. It was looking shaky earlier in the season, but they just was playing winning football all season long, and it leads to their 8-1 record. I've been seeing them play a style of football that I'm like, I think this is what a lot of people have been looking for y'all to play. You know, you got a damn good running back. You have arguably the best wide receiver in all of football in Justin Jefferson. And when I look up there at home, you just got TJ Hawkinson on the team. Right now, I think that might be a little bit too much to overcome for the Cowboys right now. 2 back-to-back road games. Last week, I believe myself, you should have had the game. And I think, I'm not saying it punctures you for the season, but I think that 1 loss may turn into 2 losses, and then you can't get out of Minnesota with a victory. And I'm actually going Minnesota 28, Dallas 27.
That's fair.
I mean, but don't get it twisted, man. You ain't got to argue me down. I just think it's going to be close. But I think just them being home and what you guys getting, with last week being what it was, I think it might take 1 more week for y'all to get back to Dallas football.
That's fair.
But that's fair. But moving right along on to this is a game right here that interests some people. The Steelers and the Bengals. The Steelers are at home. I actually had a couple people say, "Yeah, we looking for the Steelers. Look out for the Steelers today." And I've heard other people say the Steelers stink. I looked out for them last week. I'm thinking this week they stink. I'm going. I'm going with the Natty, man. I'm going with Cincinnati, man. I think they're going to be too much, even though with T.J. Watt being back, I think he puts a little bit more pressure on Cincinnati.
Yeah.
But I'm not. Offense out in Pittsburgh just not enough, man. Give me Cincinnati 24-13.
I agree. I see Burrow getting sacked 3-4 times, the usual, 3-4 times. But I still don't see, like you said, I don't see Trubisky in Pittsburgh. Is it Trubisky still, or they got somebody else?
I think it's still Kenny Two Gloves.
Yeah, I don't Pickett. That's what it is. It's Pickett, right?
Yeah, Kenny Pickett.
Pickett. Yeah, I don't see them, like you said. The offense is just not enough, man. It's no bueno, man. So I'm gonna go with Cincinnati, and I'm gonna go with Cincinnati 27-10. 27-10.
Tonight's game is the Chargers and SoFi hosting the Chiefs. Man, Chargers is definitely a team that I've been thinking has been underachieving. I've made a vow. I said I'm not going to talk about that guy out in L.A. bad like I was. I said, you know what? I'll give him one more season. There it is. With that being said, Patrick Mahomes is that deal. The Chargers ain't. I think it's going to be close, but I actually think it might be a little bit more of a shootout than people think. But I think Patty Mahomes pulls it out 38-31.
Patty 31-30.
Got you.
I like Herbert, but he's too up and down for me, man.
That's something I wish a lot. That's something I think a little bit more people are starting to come around to. Instead of like, oh man, this guy is this, he's the next. He's a little bit more up and down to me than and now it seems like some people are like, hey, he's a little bit more up and down. I'm like, And the last game on the docket for Monday night, you have the Arizona Cardinals hosting the 49ers. Arizona is definitely a team that I had a lot more faith in. I wish they played a little bit better than they played all season. Like I said, I love to watch Kyler Murray play, but it may be some things that I have to review and address with my relationship with Kyler Murray. With that being said, man, like I said, I've been talking to some 49ers fans, man, and they're like, yeah, man, this is our time of the year. We're starting to round into shape. This is what we do. I believe this is your time of the year. You rounded into shape. You're getting healthy, which is the main thing that I see that San Francisco hitches on is health. I think they go into Arizona, win a rather wild one. Give me 33-31.
I don't know about all that. Rounding in the shade, that's cute. Whatever. They playing the fucking Cardinals. Kyler Murray is severely, in my opinion, severely overrated, severely overpaid. They stink. I'm gonna go with San Francisco, and I'm gonna go 27-14. That part.
Okay. That's fair, good brother. That's fair as fuck. Now you got all our picks. Now it's time for all the fantasy to meet the real life on TV and all over the place.
Yeah, man.
This is your guy, Fresh Fire.
Your boy B Mac, man.
And for our guy, the coach, Coach P. We out of here, y'all, man. We hope your cards and your picks all come to life and you get all the motherfucking money you supposed to get.
That part. Shout out Iceman.
Podcast, man. And it's certain moments that you have when you do these things, and I think it's more the moment.
These guys came from Wood to Delaware.
Where were you from?
Now,
from
who's
East
fighting
Side.
right now? Who's fighting right now? Who's fighting right now? Who's see him.
Listen, man, it's your boy D-Mac, man. Fire Nice